make sure that I have it up. Oh man. Minimal time wasted on relevant prep. Less stress, more control of the process. Moral of the story, FAANG hiring process is not a meritocracy. It's a game. If you know how to play, you don't need to work twice as hard as everyone else. Just be smarter about it. 10K upvotes, 460 comments. How I cheated my way into FAANG interviews and got the interview. All right, so let's be real. FAANG interviews are more about playing the game than being the best engineer. I 100% agree. Being the best engineer does not get you into Google. There are legendary engineers who have written the software that Google uses that failed to invert a binary tree, and so Google said no. But let's continue. I didn't grind 500 leak code problems. I didn't have a perfect resume. Instead, I hacked the interview process by understanding how hiring actually works. Here's exactly what I did. Step 1, skipping the black hole. Cold applications aren't waste. If you guys talk about sales, cold approaching is the worst thing you can do in order to get into FAANG or anything. Cold approaching in sales is just, it's a shit show. It is absolutely a shit show. I never applied through the company portals. They got thousands of application ATS filters out of most of them. Instead, I targeted engineers and hiring managers on LinkedIn and asked for referrals. I kept my message short to the point. Hey, blank, I'm really interested in company. I'd love to apply. I have X years of experience and relevant skills. I think it'd be great. I think I'd be a great fit. Would you be open to referring me? This got me multiplying referrals in weeks, and I went straight to recruiters and screens instead of waiting in the void. So imagine if there's few black people at the company, right? I'll just be real with you. It's like when I see somebody that's black and who has come from a similar background as me, I feel so much more likely to refer that person just because I know how much of a pain it is to get an opportunity when you are a minority. But whatever, let's keep going. Step 2, only studying what actually gets asked. Instead of grinding hundreds of leak code problems, I reverse engineered the interview questions. I searched Glassdoor, Blind, and leak code discussion forums for recent questions from the target company. All right, that's another great point. I never even thought about it like that. When I got on leak code, I actually wanted to learn different systems, right? I never cheated. I want to take a mode. I never cheated on any of my interviews. But to be honest with you guys, sometimes I wish I had, because when I get into these companies, when I've gotten into Amazon, excuse me, I don't want to put it on anybody's name, but it's like when you get into I don't want to make this about Amazon, but when you get into these FAANG companies and you see how many people suck at leak code and became a senior software engineer. I met people at Twitch who never did who did not do an interview, right? They had an internship, they got in without interviewing, right? I met people like this who got in, who didn't have to study their ass off on leak code. And so, Jesus, man, I hate this system and I don't ever want to be a part of it again. So let's get back into it. I found patterns. Most companies ask the same 10 to 15 core problems repeatedly. I agree with that. Like once the engineer has a problem they really like, they tend to champion it for years so they don't have to like restudy. So this is another, I'm not telling you guys to cheat. Actually, you're going to do what you want to do, right? Some of you guys have been cheating since you've been in kindergarten. So like, I'm not here to talk about here's how you cheat on your interviews. I'm here to talk to you about the injustice of this system and why, as a minority who spent their career working hard and like trying to be honest and learn these things, how people like me get left behind. So instead of solving 500 random problems, I studied top 30 questions per company sorted by frequency. Patterns, not solutions. Oh, this is just sliding window problem with twist. Mock interviews on Pramp and with friends get real-time feedback. Results have solving interview questions under 10 minutes instead of struggling through the brute force solutions. I think what he wants to say is I've memorized all the basic solutions And when I get into the interview, I don't tell them they're already seeing the problem. I just go through and I do it. And so, yeah, it's some bullshit, man. Step 3, finessing the behavioral interviews. It's scripted tests. FAANG behavioral rounds are about personality. They're looking for structured answers. I prep 5 stories using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result, and adapted them on the fly. The key: always show impact with metrics. Instead of saying I helped optimize the backend service, I said optimize backend service, reducing latency by 40% and saving $500K in cloud costs. Biggest trick: if they ask about failures, always spin it into a win. I learned X and I led to Y in success later. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Mm, I thought the behavioral interviews, well, when you get to a mid level engineering role, it is so important to be able to quantify how you affected the company with metrics because this is exactly what they're looking for. And so I think people think that you cannot lie, like they'll just know. But honestly, it's like people, I have friends who told me they've lied to get into certain companies, certain FAANG companies, and it just worked for them. But of course, they get exposed when they actually get into the job and they can't perform. So I guess in some ways it does, not it evens itself out. But yeah. Step 4, exploiting the hiring process loopholes. I time my interviews strategically. Companies move faster when they know you have other offers. I set out hiring events in bar raiser systems. Amazon, for example, has bar raisers who can override bad interviews. Okay, I did not know that. This is some great information. I built a relationship with my recruiter, and they have the power to push the borderline candidates and help negotiations. That's right. And so I think these companies try to make you feel like it's fair when you get in, that you're going to have this situation where everybody's your family member and what is it? And that you are going to be judged only about your work. But in reality, I don't think that system can exist. I think within every company there exists politics and there exists people who get their opportunity by nepotism. And so I'm not saying that these tech companies are full of people who are not talented. I'm just saying that um, so much of your career is about your network. It's taken me 10 years to figure that out. I have another video. I'm gonna keep promoting my videos. That if I had to start over, I have a video. It's called "If I Had to Start Over as a Software Engineer in 2025." Here's what I do. I'm gonna promote it again because yeah, it's just I talked about how much of my career I've spent waiting and I didn't get opportunities. Like people who weren't even computer science majors were able to get opportunities before me because they went to school in California and they had a better network than me. And so I feel a little bit cheated by the system, but yeah, I guess it's my own fault. I thought I thought in my life that my skills and my work ethic meant a lot. And I think that's why the reason that I've started this entrepreneurship journey and I'm making these videos when I feel a little bit depressed. I don't want to guilt trip you. I'm making these videos. I'm a small YouTuber. And yeah, I think I really want a life where I don't have to be a part of the bureaucracy and the system. I want to be able to create and be appreciated for the value that I create in the world. And that's why I've decided to be an entrepreneur. So, but yeah, let's get back into it. Step 5, offer and negotiation hacks. Once I had one offer, I used it to pressure the other companies to move faster. I acted slightly disinterested. Companies chase candidates who seem in demand. I negotiated hard. I love the opportunity, but my other offers is X. You match it or improve it. I was hoping for a higher base signing bonus to align with the market rates. Results 40K increase in total compensation. The end result, FAANG offers 300K total comp, minimal time wasted on irrelevant prep. Oh my God, he said it himself. I want you guys to see it. Let me